Philip, no, it's been a busy couple of days for you. Excited to welcome you to Indianapolis. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Thanks for having me. My family and I are excited.
As you had some time in free agency to explore your options, what made Indianapolis so attractive for you in this next chapter of your football career?
Well, this was the first for me. Obviously, been in one place for 16 years, but I think a lot of things. I mean, Mr. Irsay's done a heck of a job, obviously, over the years with the organization, and Chris Ballard is the GM now, and Frank Reich, having some experience with him in San Diego, Nick Sirianni, who's the coordinator in San Diego. So there's some familiarity from the top down, and then just the respect I have for this football team. You know, we played them last year, and then just seeing kind of where they're headed over the last few years. They're headed in the right direction. So excited to be a part of it, and be a part of the community, and just be a part of the group. So really looking forward to it.
Colts fans obviously very familiar with you and the success not only that you've had as a quarterback, but also because of that competitive demeanor that you bring on the field. What can Colts fans now expect as having you part of the horseshoe as opposed to being on that opposing sideline?
Yeah, well, certainly. I know it's going to be different for them probably, but hopefully they can warm up to it in a hurry. I certainly will warm up to them quickly. I'm excited to be a part of the community, like I said, and they have such a great fan base. I've always loved playing in Indy. I just always felt like it was such a passionate crowd, respectful crowd, intelligent crowd. They know football, so. Had some good games there in Indy. Some that probably weren't so memorable for Colts fans, but I'll never forget. In 2008, it was 2007 season, I tore my ACL in the game, and I was walking off the field, and as they should have been, they were giving me heck as I was walking to the tunnel, and I'll never forget looking up and saying, "I'll be back, I'll be back." And so I didn't know it would ever ring this true that 12 years later I'm actually back and one of them. So look, my family's really excited. I know I've been on the other side for 16 years and been an opponent, but I will hopefully earn your trust and respect for the way I play and how hard I compete and lead the guys. And it's a great team. I'm just happy again to be a part of it. And I'm excited to play in Lucas Oil. I really am. It's an awesome place. All that blue in there on Sundays. Certainly looking forward to it.
We recently heard your favorite movie is Hoosiers. What has given you such a connection to the movie Hoosiers?
I don't know. It was always, as a young boy, I loved that movie, and then it's a classic. It's never gotten old. So there's just so many different scenes in that I love. I grew up a son of a coach, and just kind of that story with that, small town basketball, and it's awesome. Jimmy Chitwood, I'll make it. So we have a little poster of that in our quarterback room over the years. So it'll be awesome. I was there for the Super Bowl in 2012. It was the only Super Bowl city I've ever been to during Super Bowl week. I didn't go to the game, so I was there in Indy and was able to go to St. Elmo's and eat, and we went to the gym actually where the movie was shot. One other time when I was there in Indy, we went to the state championship that was being played there at Lucas Oil, me and Jacob Hester and Billy Volek. So I've always, although I've not necessarily been cheered for by the Colts Nation over the years, I've always been fond of Indianapolis and excited to be there.
Indianapolis certainly excited to have you as well. You mentioned that familiarity that you have with Coach Reich and Coach Sirianni. How much did that weigh into your decision, the rapport that you have with them?
Yeah, it was certainly important. It's been a few years, but certainly important. I think we had some good times in San Diego with both of those guys, and a lot of trust building moments, a lot of great conversation. There's just a familiarity there. We communicate a lot the same. We see the game the same. So certainly that was a big plus. Knowing the system for the most part, I'm sure they've made some changes. It'll be a little different, but that was a big plus. I really believe in Frank as a man and as a coach. And I know the type of people that Chris Ballard wants to bring into the locker room, and you see it. You see it the way they play and how they compete and how they play for one another. So, again, I'm just excited to be a part of that group and to help us, again, chase that ultimate goal.
Having spent the entire previous portion of your career with one organization in the San Diego Chargers and then Los Angeles Chargers, what do you foresee as maybe being the biggest challenges as you adapt to transition into a new franchise and into a new locker room?
Well, I think first probably that. I really is into the new locker room. You always have new teammates every year, but when you've been in the same place for all those years, there's a continuity, there's a level of comfort that comes with that. So my favorite part of this game is being a teammate. It really is. I love the Sundays and I love the touchdowns and all those things and competing, but I love being a teammate first. And so I think that will be very important. And I look forward to meeting my teammates and, again, earning that trust, earning that respect in the locker room, because I think you gain some of that over a 16-year career. But I think it starts new. These guys, I don't know these guys. They don't know me. And so you want to build that camaraderie. I love that part of it. I think that's first. And then, putting on a different uniform will be a little different. That'll be different for sure. And then just, again, being a part of the community, it'll be different for us. We look forward to it. Like I said, I've heard nothing but great things about the town. And like I mentioned, the times I've been there, about the people, and just really looking forward to being an Indianapolis Colt.
There is some uncertainty right now with when teams will get back to regular offseason activity, when everyone will be able to get here to the complex and get to work. Given the knowledge that you do have, though, of the Frank Reich system, you mentioned things may have changed somewhat, but you do know that system very well. How quickly will you be able to get in, get to work, get things rolling, and try to get up to speed?
Yeah, I don't think that will be a problem. Certainly, I will and need to put the time in, again, with all the different tweaks and nuances and different verbiage that has been changed, and it is different. But for the most part, like I said, there's going to be a lot of continuity there for me. But I'm really going to work hard on that during this time period when we're kind of unsure of what's coming, because I really want that first day and that first practice, at least for the guys in that huddle, to not feel like it's my first day. It will be. There will be some time. We have plenty of time to build the chemistry and the way we communicate and all those things. But just as far as knowledge of what we're doing, I want those guys to go, shoot, this guy's been here a while. I want them to feel that way, and so I'll make sure I get that done from a system standpoint, and then we can focus on the execution and, again, building that trust and that camaraderie with the guys.
Can you try to do some of that even now from a distance and reaching out to guys and trying to maybe build that rapport a little bit, just in getting familiar with some of your new teammates?
Yeah, I think so. I think, we're still early on. Obviously, I think April 20th would have been the date the all-season program would have started, which will obviously be pushed back. But so we still have time. But, yeah, I've tried to reach out just by text to a handful of the guys, tell them hello again, and just tell them I'm excited to be a part of the group. And but I think that will grow over time, as far as that communication with the wideouts and the offensive line, different things. As I'm watching tape and things, and we start to get closer and closer, I want to communicate with those guys and again build that trust. I keep saying that trust, but I think that's huge, and that camaraderie, that rapport, because I think the more you can't get to know guys unless you communicate with them, and so I think that getting that done, even though we're all kind of separated here for some time, will be important.
Well, a group that certainly has a strong rapport is your offensive line, a unit that played all 16 games, started all 16 games together last season. You have Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly coming off of Pro Bowl seasons. You have Anthony Costanzo back signing that contract extension. What is most exciting to you about that offensive line, looking at those 5 guys you have in front of you?
Yeah, it's a heck of a group. It's definitely exciting. That was also on the list of pluses. For wanting to be a part of this team. You mentioned Ryan and Anthony and Quentin, and I think Mark and Braden on that other side, they do a heck of a job as well. I think the thing that stands out to me is that all 5 of them played all 16 games together. I think there's a great deal of continuity there. You can tell in the way they play and how they play. And obviously you mentioned the guys with the All-Pro and Pro Bowl seasons, and getting Anthony back recently I know was big. He's a heck of a left tackle. So it's a heck of a group. I look forward to being around those guys. I've heard so many great things. I've seen it on tape and watching Sunday night games or Monday night games, but also I've heard so many positive things. So definitely looking forward to getting to know that group.
One of the things we learned from Anthony this week when he had his conference call after signing his contract extension was that he's really confident his best football is in front of him, just because of what he's learned about taking care of his body and how to treat his body in the offseason and all those different things that you learn as a veteran, having more seasons under your belt, being smarter about everything, being more comprehensive. What has you confident, Philip, that the best football is still ahead of you in your career?
Well, I think physically that certainly is important, and I do feel good. I feel good physically. Coming off a year where I was mostly healthy, going into the off season, feeling good. Some years you go in a little more banged up than others. I feel good physically, and I'm mentally, and I still love it. I still love to play, and I have that passion for it. And 19 wasn't my best year, but they were in spurts. I had some of my best moments. So I was just being more consistent. Just 2 years removed from one of my best seasons as a pro. So I feel like I got a lot of football left. And the thing is this Colts team, it's a heck of a group. So I want to come in and do my job, and get better every day. And we're all going to lean on one another and find a way. We always talk about finding a way to just improve every day, but also I always talk about as an offense. Our job is to score one more point than the other team. That's our job, whatever that is. If that's 3-2 or if it's 35-34. And I know it's a heck of a young defense that they have over there too, and obviously making the big trade for Buckner the other day. And so it's an exciting time to be a Colt. And it's a new for me. I'm getting used to saying that, but I like it and looking forward to being a part of it.
It's an exciting time for your family as well, your wife and kids preparing to make a really big transition here to the Midwest. What's exciting about that? How do you prepare your family now to kind of pick up and move and start all of this new chapter here for the Rivers family in Indianapolis?
Well, they're looking forward to it. It certainly will be an adjustment for us just in general because we lived in one town for 16 years and one home for the last 10 years. So it'll be an adjustment, but that was important for us always. Thankfully, we were able to be in one place that long. But Tiffany and I always said, wherever we're playing, we're all going. So I know there was a lot of rumors out there about us being in Florida and what we were going to do. And now is Rivers going to commute and all that? All 11 of us will be in Indianapolis, somewhere in that area right there. I'm still figuring out all the different pockets. I'm learning those as well. But we're excited about being a part of the community. Our children, I have many of them that are in different grades in the schools, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
We're excited to have you as part of the organization as well as part of this community. Philip, thank you so much for taking the time. We look forward to having you here in Indy and getting to work here at the Colts complex soon.
Thank you very much.